Welcome back, everybody. Today I'm going to talk about setting up your GPUs so you can do mining when you're not gaming. So let's go ahead and jump on over to the screen, which we're going to be using MSI Afterburner to be able to do this. All right, so right here you see I have the mining going in the background while I'm recording. Just so you know, just a little FYI, while recording, because this is my gaming PC, my GPU is being used for both mining and recording. I don't really recommend this. If you're going to go ahead and record, just stop the mining for however long your recording is going to be. Same thing with gaming. Stop the mining for however long you're going to game, because it's going to use up too much of your GPU to do both, and you might experience some crashing and things of that nature. So I'm running a 2070 non-super. I was gonna say super. 2070 non-super. Okay, so I went ahead, and in order to mine this properly, you want to mine and efficiently. So in order to mine efficiently, you want to boost your clocks, and you want to limit your power, as well as set a proper fan speed. Now, my fan speed on this is a little high, and that's because I'm also running a 1080 at the same time, but the 1080 is plugged in directly to the PC instead of using a riser. So that creates more heat for the 2070, because the 2070 doesn't have enough room for the hot air to, or for the heat to dissipate properly, which is why I also have a fan here pointed directly at my GPUs. All right, so depending on how your GPU is, whether you win the silicon lottery or not, your clocks may vary. Okay, so the clocks that I was able to get, and actually I can go a little bit higher than this, but the reason why I don't is because there's no reason to. Any higher than 1200 on my memory clock, it makes no difference as far as how much mega hash I get, and some programs, or some not programs, some algorithms won't even recognize it, saying that it's too much, that exceeds the limit, or so on and so forth. So 1200 on my 2070 seems to be the sweet spot for it. At 1200, and on my core clock 75, I typically get anywhere between 40 to 48 mega hash per second. Just depends on what algorithm is being used at the moment. So at this moment, I'm using it's Excavator, and when I'm not recording, it's getting about 40 to 43 mega hash. And then when it uses, I think it's Octopus, when it uses Octopus, then it goes up to 48, 49 sometimes mega hash. Now, again, this varies depending on your GPU. So something I've noticed as well, power limit. Okay, so right now I have it set it at 60 for the power limit. If I increase it to 70, it makes no difference. At that point, what happens is that my efficiency goes down because I'm drawing more power. So keeping it at 60 for my power limit seems to be the sweet spot. I'm still getting the max mega hash that I can get, while trying to keep the power limit low, and the draw low, as well as the heat low, because the more power that you have, the more heat you're going to be creating. So that's something else that is helping as far as the heat goes. Now, fan speed. I have the fan speed cranked up, but when I have the 2080 out, or 2080, I wish I had a 2080. When I have the 1080 out of the PC, and I'm using a riser, or for the 1080, or if I'm using a riser for the 26 or the 1060 that I have, I keep saying 2080. For the 1080 and the 1060 that I have, when I'm using risers, I can lower the fan speed percentage. So fan speed percentage, again, you want it lower, because then it draws less power and it's more efficient that way. When I'm just running the 2070 by itself, I can put the fan speed down to 45 or 50, depending on how quickly I want the temps to drop. And right now the temps are sitting at 67, 66. When I'm not running any other card besides the 2070, my temps stay at a very nice 55. So there you can see the difference between when I have another card in the slot in my motherboard versus if I'm just running the single card and then running a riser on top of that. So again, your results may vary. Now, the 20 or the 1080, not 2080. The 1080 is a little bit different. These Pascal cards usually want to underclock the core clocks. So I have it stable right now at negative 100 on the core clock and plus 400 on the memory clock. Now, I can raise the memory clock higher if I am not using what's called the ETH-largement pill. But the ETH-largement pill is really what gives the 1080 its effectiveness. If I'm not running the ETH-largement pill and I boost the memory clock to say like 600-700, I'm not going to run more than maybe 24 mega hash per second, where with the ETH-largement pill, it varies anywhere between 29 to 34 mega hash per second at 400 memory clock. So I'm using less memory clock as opposed to if I'm not running the ETH-largement pill. And then at that point, if I'm not running the ETH-largement pill, it's really not efficient because of how much draw the power takes. So right now I have it limited to 64 on the power limit. And the effectiveness on this, or the efficiency, I should say, is about 228 to 230. And this is something that I didn't mention before. The efficiency on the 2070 it goes up to about, I think, 315, 320, which is really good. So the 1080 here, if I'm not running, like I said, if I'm not running the ETH-largement pill, it's not going to be as efficient, and it's just at that point I might as well just run two 1066 gigs, because the 1066 gig I can overclock it to 600 memory clock, underclock the core clock down to negative 100, limit the power to 60%. Actually, I can limit the power to 57%, and it draws only about 85 to 90 watts, which is incredible, and the efficiency is like 250. And like I said, I'm with the 1066 gig, I'd be doing about 20 to 22 mega hash per second. So take that into consideration if you're not running the ETH-largement pill on the 1060, because again, the 1060, that using the ETH-largement is what gives it its power. That's what gives it the efficiency and the whole reason to run that card. But the ETH-largement pill at the same time can cause problems if you are overclocking too much, if you are undervolting, or not undervolting, but limiting the power too much. There's a lot of problems that the ETH-largement pill can cause. Plus, it only works on certain algorithms on top of that. And I know that this is all a lot of information here, but we can go ahead and break this down in other videos, a little bit later in the future, to just break it down card by card, what I'm doing specifically and things of that nature. I'll also explain in the next video why I can't use risers at the moment, but hopefully that'll change in the near future. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I hope you guys found this video somewhat informational, helpful maybe, and with that, happy mining. I'll see you guys in the next one.